Hey guys, so I'm trying to get going this morning on my lagging and putting off on upholstering my seats. I don't know what it is. I just get like mental block on this stuff and just don't want to do it. And I've done everything I can to make the products nice, meaning I've had my seat frames all powder coated. They look amazing. The only damage from rust was right here in this little area, which I didn't really think I needed to repair that. But yeah, that's it. That's the extent of the rust in the seat frame. Well, there's a little scaling right there, but there's no holes. So that's really it. But yeah, I've been just putting this off. I'm not a seat upholstering guy. I've never worked in an upholstery shop. But you know, this channel is for those of you guys or do-it-yourself guys out there that we are trying to showcase just doing it and not taking it to an upholstery shop unless you absolutely have to for the success of your project. But I will admit I've only done one seat upholstery on a Chevrolet C10 pickup truck that we built last year or 2 years ago now, and that was the extent of my experience doing this sort of thing. So my guide in doing so I've got, this is the front seat, 2 bucket seat foam molds. They're actual molds for the seats. I haven't received the seat covers. I'm supposed to get those tomorrow. This is a kit from Classic that comes with this burlap material and this canvasy stuff, which I'm not sure where that goes yet. And then it comes with a big roll of foam and this giant roll of, looks like insulation to me, but I'm not sure if I use that and that. I think that would be too much. So I think I'm just going to go on the foam. But my reference, when I took these seats apart, I took pictures. And so my reference is basically this. So this is the bottom seat pan. And let's see here. And as you can tell, there's the hole right there. So that is when I took it apart. So it looks to me like they put wires, like some sort of wire in there to keep this stuff, which is that white foamy insulation. So my guess, and you know, put in the comments if you know, but my guess is this is the original insulation that Chrysler used, and this seat was upholstered at some point and they put foam over the top of it instead of just getting rid of all this stuff. So that tells me that I can just use this foam for added padding, obviously, and then putting that burlap sack down first, and then the foam, and then the cover, which is out there sitting on my truck in the sun, getting nice and warm, so it'll just be easier to conform around this frame. So I've got my hog rings here. These are just from the local auto parts store, and cheapo hog ring pliers. And so if you look at this stuff, you can see obviously the holes, and these holes in this frame are actually for the hog rings from what I can gather, and the picture of course too. And then you have to use the hog rings to actually go in these holes and then attach it to this bar as well. And I'll probably flip it over when I'm doing it and just start on one side and then kind of incrementally go across each side, making sure that the seat cover is straight. So you're going to learn with me, and I'm going to do this. And so this is the seat base. I have the seat back, so I'm going to start on the stuff that's mostly hidden in the back of the car. That's why I'm kind of starting with this. And of course I don't have seat covers for the buckets yet, but everything's powder coated, all the hardware is painted up, it all looks really good. So all that's left to do is do it. So let me get you guys set up and you can watch me as I do this. don't want to make this any more difficult than it has to be. So you don't want a lot of foam hanging over, because that'll make it difficult to actually put the hog rings on. All we're trying to do is basically just create a nice comfy seat, obviously. To shave this corner off, we'll see, I guess. But you guys can see how this looks. Just did this little indent here on both sides, and got a little bit of an overhang here, but I think it's actually a little too far out. So just basically right along the edge of the frame. That's how I think we're gonna do it. So now let's get this burlap sized up appropriately for that OEM feel. I don't know what this stuff is for. I suppose I should probably put this down above the burlap, maybe to contain it. I'm not sure. So obviously the burlap, I'm calling it burlap, I don't know if that's what it's really called, but the burlap has, you know, it's kind of like a screen, so maybe this is intended to go on top of the burlap in order to keep it, the foam from falling through. If it rots out, I'm not sure. That's just my best guess. So we'll put this guy, and I've been putting this off and putting it off, and it's literally like one of the very last big projects to do to this car before I can drive it. So that's my motivation. And there's really no rhyme or reason. I just don't do upholstery very much. I haven't done it more than one time. So I guess it was just kind of fear of the unknown, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I just don't see what else this would be used for. Alright, so I have my Cleco pliers out, and I mistook them for my hog ring pliers. So these are hog ring pliers. They're kind of similar to the Clecos, but if you look at them closely, the Clecos have a perfect round circle and just a little fork. So yeah, my bad. So I had to reacclimate myself to how these work. This part is a mystery. I don't know what this little guy does, but it doesn't seem to get in the way of attaching hog rings. So the way I'm doing it is basically hold the pliers open and you get them loaded up like that. And this is a travel stop, which I don't use. I just have it because I want to clamp it all the way. But there's different sizes of these hog rings. You can get them, you know, big, small, whatever. But I'm just trying to attach this burlap potato sack to the seat frame and have it somewhat taut over. Try to get it to look decent. you guys somewhere else, because I don't think that angle's working. I'm not able to see everything. So this is where I'm at currently. Just got a hog ring about every foot, just holding this burlap down. Still have to do the back here, which I'm gonna have to go to the edge. Oh my gosh, I have 1% battery left. I gotta go to these holes. Let me swap this battery out. I'll be right back. Alright, so I came across the problem. So after I put the foam down, when I pulled the cover over the foam, I was seeing kind of a prominent edge here due to the foam. And so, not surprised, but so I got this giant roll of insulation-like material, and I think that'll help smooth out this edge and also give the passengers in the back some sort of padding against the frame here, because there's really nothing there with the foam on. And perhaps I was thinking that maybe the foam was intended to go around the edge, but I was a little nervous to do that because of the cover. I wasn't sure if the cover would stretch that far. But with this stuff, you can kind of mold it how you want it, and just kind of, you can take little pieces and just kind of put them in there, and it stays for the most part, just to kind of keep the divots. But it stretches pretty well if you're gentle with it, and you can actually pull it, just kind of yank it over a little at a time and get it stretched out over the top there, so there's no prominent lines under the cover. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. And I think this might do it. Just trying not to create any holes or any sort of divots that'll be visible with the cover. But yeah, it tears really easily. Doesn't cut with the scissors very well. But as you can see, this is kind of what I'm going for. The cover is attached to this little tunnel here, which is a cutout in the cover. So I kind of matched this contour. As you can see, the hog rings in there, and I had it on first, and that's when I noticed that the corner was just too prominent with the cover over it, and then I realized there's no back leg protection. So with this, it would give us that back leg protection to an extent. I mean, look, this is a 1969 Charger. It's not going to have the safety amenities of today. So we're going to see if that works. Hopefully this works when I pull it back over, so we'll find out together. Show you guys what I'm doing here. So basically, I started in this because obviously this has a contour to it, and it was designed or sewn in like that, and I just kind of set this U-shaped into the frame, obviously, so it's centered. That was how I found center. And then I went directly up here and set these guys in place as close to center. I need to work my way this way a little bit just to kind of keep things even. But yeah, see, I've gone over here, and there's a felt strip here that I'm not sure if this goes under, but I'm gonna stay the course and just keep it padding this frame right here. I think that's what it was intended to do. I think, pretty sure. And as it gets tougher to work with, I'll just put it back out in the sun and just keep working it. So I'm gonna get going over here just to kind of even things out a little bit. So, and I'm losing battery again. See if I can flip this guy around. Just back in, from cooking in the sun. Not only does the bottom look pretty good, but very few wrinkles. These will iron out on their own. I could use a heat gun with that, just a little bit. But overall, like this seam should be buried with the backrest. The backrest will come down, hopefully, and bury that. But yeah, the corner here, you can see where that corner turns in. Right here, a little contour that I cut out for the foam. And you can see my hog rings. And I'm just using this cloth over the top of the burlap. But overall, I'm happy with it. It looks pretty good. Almost looks like a professional did it. And this stuff, you could actually tuck more of the stuff in too, which I might do, just at least behind the brackets. Just jam some more in there just to keep it padded from people's ankles hitting it. But I'm happy with it. What do you guys think? Not too shabby? Alright, I'm gonna keep going.